How to Roleplay a Rogue, a class guide for roleplaying both for DMs and players alike. For those wonderful, iconic depictions of your favorite classes that you know you can pull off if only you have some inspiration. And here it is. So welcome, players, DMs, friends, and adventurers. Welcome to the DM table. I'm Em, and this is today's subject. So rogues, as a class, what are they? Well, they are tricksters. They are professional solvers of issues of accessibility as well, like accessing through the door, through a window, maybe over a wall, or maybe in somebody's pockets, or their document vault. But what else are they? How does one become a rogue? Well, that's maybe the first thing that we should look at. Today's rogue has formed through practicing their class, and this was due to some reasons of them becoming a rogue in the first place. Why did they do so? What aspects of personality of theirs does this job appeal to? Or does it at all? But usually if somebody is good at their job, they will like it to some extent, even if they don't like some elements of it. So, in this case, we want to see what has a rogue become due to becoming a rogue and where did they start. So are they today charming, where they used to be shy, or maybe they were always charming and now they use it? Were they tricky from the beginning, clever, full of pranks, or would they have not had any such ideas before learning about them, accepting them either with glee or with reluctance? Maybe this rogue doesn't like to cheat. Maybe this rogue loves cheating. There are endless amount of rogues, so which one is yours is the question. Rogue can frequently get some definition from their tools and skills of trade, which can be from lockpicking, pickpocketing, blackmail, heists, scams, acrobatics, being a jester, maybe a court jester, maybe just a town fool, court etiquette, seduction, disguise, politics, art and forgery, trap making and breaking. There's so many skills that are iconic for the rogue class, and each of these skills can lend something to the rogue's personality. So take all of these points and go through them one by one, see if you can catch a few more, and see what does this add to your rogue's personality and how do they manifest their skills. Then, of course, we have whether there is philosophy behind what the rogue is doing or there isn't any. Sometimes we have rogues that don't have any deeper philosophy behind why they're a rogue and how does their job relate to their life, but that is more of a rare than a common thing, I would say, especially in a good story. So, what philosophy, and this is a particular favorite of mine about this, what philosophy does the rogue follow to get where he or she is? Does the rogue have some reason to do this from the cultural standpoint, like Robin Hood defending the poor from starvation by liberating their taxes from the rich? Maybe the rogue is like one of those from the old trickster rogue movies where the rogue feels like stupid and greedy people can be separated from their money more easily and more righteously. Furthermore, maybe the rogue attacks with their schemes the undesired elements of society. This type of rogue may say, "So you're selling that sort of thing to innocent people. Let me prepare you a scheme that you'll take up on yourself, being as dirty as you are, and I'll ruin you so that you may never be able to do so again." That sort of rogue also exists. But there's all kinds of interesting evil rogues as well. Those that might just be interested in what's in everybody's pockets, in everybody's houses, what is everybody doing. They want to spy on everybody, so that they can get a head start. They might like to trick people playing cards. They might like to turn every gamble into not a gamble and cheat those who would cheat the rogue. There are many approaches. A rogue can be an official agent of an organization. They can be cold and professional, or two-faced, or, well, many-faced, or just be what people call a social butterfly, which has talents for this sort of thing regardless of otherwise what would be required, and loves using them on people too, but maybe for good purposes, maybe for bad. Getting information is always a rogue's job, and this is a very, well, interesting field to explore. Getting somebody to talk in subtle ways is frequently more preferable than needing to transport them into your dungeon to have them talk first. A rogue might even work for a church, stealing dangerous artifacts from dangerous sources, lest they stay or fall into the wrong hands. This is maybe even completely officially sanctioned rogue. So, that's a type I haven't seen played almost anywhere, and yet you could be playing one. Rogues also make for interesting partners where, when they pull a betrayal, it's done very professionally. Therefore, it might actually be good even for the one that was betrayed, and yet surprising. So this can be a good plot twist in a party if everybody sort of clicks well enough and things work out, and then you can have quite the playful party that still works together and loves each other. So, and yet betrayal was used as a tool, maybe to trick enemies, maybe to betray enemies, maybe to join enemies and betray enemies. And not just from the rogue, from the whole party, because a good rogue can be a good leader for the roguey things for their party. So that's another thing a rogue can do. Rogue also can prepare all kinds of poisons and traps and gadgets and be the gadgeteer of the party, because that's another thing that everybody can appreciate and the rogue can have fun with. And of course, when there's such a time to play mind games with the trap maker in a dungeon, who better to give advice and disarm some of these than rogue, and direct the spellcasters and the fighters and so on to how they would approach helping disarm these complex, dangerous traps that you can have in good dungeons that require the whole party to break a sweat. That's another rogue job that can actually somewhat define your character's background. And don't forget, DMs, this all applies to you and your rogues that you have in your campaigns that give good examples to your players. So show off your rogues so that people can enjoy them. And every class and, anything really that people can absorb into their own personal culture can be enriched with the way they talk, the way they walk, what they carry, what they use, what kind of tools they have stuck on their person, what do they have in their pockets, all sorts of things. And how is this presented to your players or to your party if you're the player? Well, through all kinds of mannerisms and little situations that you can prepare ahead of time that have their own little uses. Just imagine ahead of time what kind of things you would like to add to your everyday life as a rogue, and what kind of things you want to be known for. Even if they're things like smoking a pipe or always having ability to cause fires handy. After all, causing riots is another thing rogues are good at. Psychological manipulation is another thing rogues are good at. Making contracts is another thing rogues are good at. So think again, how does this all tie into the character? Yet it's not like one rogue knows all of these things unless the rogue is ridiculously high level. So combine and mix and match, but also keep specialized. Keep pointed at the goal, keep pointed at the story, keep it all together to bring the result that will find your party's interest, because you all should be preparing to play together and have a wonderful campaign. And finally, for your own fun, whether you're a player or DM, Rogue is really, really great in subverting bad ideas of others to cause harm. So keep an eye out, where can a rogue trick somebody into increasing their own stupid mistake into something catastrophic to the opponent, whilst giving advice to his own or her own party members to avoid such catastrophic mistakes that others will exploit to give them a nasty end. And keep playing those mind games. So adventurer, if you thought this was unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next, and perhaps every week. I wish you luck on your adventures and to see you here again soon. Bye.